guys, I'm Laura Vitale. On this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, I'm going to share a very quick and easy recipe with you that I like to call my long fusilli with some dried tomatoes and some turkey. Now, this recipe came about because I was leaving for Vegas about a week or so ago, and it was the night before and I needed to make dinner, but I didn't go food shopping because I was leaving for 5 days, so I kind of wanted to use up anything I had left over. And I had a little bit of ground turkey left with some sun-dried tomatoes, like the marinated sun-dried tomatoes, some pasta, always have on hand. So I figured this was going to be a really quick, easy, and delicious dinner that came together in about 10 minutes, and it was so delicious. I posted a picture on my Instagram, which I'll have the link down below. If you don't follow me already on it, you should. And a bunch of you said you wanted to see the recipe, so I figured I still have those, some of those ingredients left over, and this is the perfect thing to share because it literally takes a few minutes. You're just gonna need some ground turkey, some good quality Parmigiano. These are some marinated sun-dried tomatoes that I've chopped, a mix of parsley and basil, garlic, salt and pepper. These are the long fusilli, which you can use any pasta you like. And then I'm just gonna use the marinating oil from the sun-dried tomatoes instead of using extra oil. So perfect. Now, this recipe comes together in the amount of time, the sauce comes together in the amount of time it takes to cook the pasta. So I've got my big pot full of boiling water ready. I've salted it, of course. So I'm going to add some of my pasta to the boiling water, and I'll meet you right back here to make the sauce. My large skillet, I'm going to put in a couple tablespoons of my marinating oil with the herbs and everything, because that just gives that extra flavor. I paid for it, I might as well use it. And anytime I finish up sun-dried tomatoes, I never throw away the oil because you can saute some veggies in it, you can toss it with veggies and roast them, you can saute some chicken breast in it, or you can use it like you would a regular olive oil. That's it. I'm gonna also put in my turkey. I'm gonna break this up as much as I can, and I'm gonna let this cook until the turkey is pretty much fully cooked through, while making sure you break it up as much as you can with your wooden spoon. That's looking great. I'm gonna add in my chopped up garlic. I'm gonna let this cook for about a minute or so. I wanna get rid of that raw garlic flavor. Now, just so you know, you can add anything you want to this. You can add in some beans if you have those like cooked beans left over, and get rid of the chicken altogether. Think of this recipe like most of my recipes. Think of them as a guide. Don't think of them as you have to follow it through and through. I do suggest that you follow a recipe through and through as written when it comes to a dessert, because like I always say, baking is more of a science. But when it comes to recipes like this, I mean, you don't have to add in the sun-dried tomatoes. You can add in fresh tomatoes. You don't have to add in the turkey. You could add in chicken. You could use ground beef. You can use whatever you want. So this is just what I happen to have on hand, and I love the result, so that's what I'm sharing with you today. Now, this is going to about another 30 seconds or so. The pasta's cooking away. It's only going to cook another 2 minutes or so, but make sure you reserve about 3/4 of the cup, or like a half a cup of the starchy cooking water, because that's going to make our sauce. That's it. Just going to keep an eye on this. This is looking pretty good. I'm actually going to add in my sun-dried tomatoes now. Chop these up. I do love sun-dried tomatoes. I find so many uses for them that I made my sun-dried tomato bruschetta with it. I make pasta with it. I make like a pesto with it. You name it. I think it's delicious. So now turn this down to medium-low. And while this cooks up a bit, I'm going to go check on my pasta, drain it, get some of the cooking water, and then we can pull the whole thing together. This mixture is looking perfection. Let me just season it with a little salt and pepper. I also have my pasta drained. I've got the cooking water reserved. We're pretty much ready to pull this whole thing together, which is how I like it, because I'm hungry and I want to get to eating. This up a bit now. Add in the starchy cooking water. This will reduce in no time. You want to cook it for about a minute, so it reduces by half. You could add in some chicken stock that you've got in the fridge. You know, you already have a carton open, add it in. I didn't have any open, and I didn't want to open up a new one considering I was going to be gone. So I figured a little starchy cooking water would do the trick, and it worked perfectly, if I do say so myself. So I'm just waiting for this to reduce just a bit more, and then we'll add in our pasta and a couple last ingredients that are just going to really pull this together. That looks perfect. Turn that down a bit. Add in my drained pasta. Toss everything really well because you want the pasta to be coated in that yummy sauce. Oh, that looks so delicious. Take a couple seconds to just really get in there. I'm also going to sprinkle in a good amount of good quality Parmigiano, or any good quality Parmesan cheese will do. Just make sure it's good quality, best you can afford. I always recommend that because then you get to use less of it because it tastes so good. There you go. I'm gonna add in my parsley and my basil. You could use one or the other, but I just happen to have some left over of both, so that's what I'm using. Give this one last mix, turn the heat off, and that, my friend, is done. Look at that sauce, like coating every strand of pasta. It's not watery, as you can see. It's not watery at all. It's just so good. Looks so good. I just gotta give this a taste. My mouth is watering just looking at it. These long fusilli are so whimsical to me because they're so long, but they break so easily. I'm just gonna give this a quick little taste, if you don't mind. It's gonna be hot, but it's okay. I can manage. They're not that easy to slurp, but they are delicious. They've got a good bite to them when you cook them al dente. This is delicious. And this can be on your weeknight dinner, meal, table, whatever you want to call it, in no time. Go to laurainthekitchen.com to get the recipe. Hope you enjoy spending time with me, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.